Brothers and sisters, here we are again. Another day and a little more rain and a still crappy posturing from heartless Hartford Healthcare. You know, I don't understand exactly what it's going to take, but here's what I do know. I do know that we got their attention when we were out here just a couple weeks ago. I do know that they can hear that music playing when you play it just loud enough. I do know that the men and women who work at Windham Hospital are members of the community of Windham, and that you all care about this community. And I think it has been abundantly clear that this community cares about you. And if Hartford Healthcare can come up with any more ways to demonstrate that they don't care about you, that they don't care about the patients you serve, and that they don't care about this community, if they can come up with any other possible way to demonstrate that to the community of Windham, I don't know what it is. Brothers and sisters, we've got a heck of a lineup of speakers for you today, people who care deeply about your struggle. And the first person I'm going to call up here today is the AFT Connecticut President, Jan Hockedell. Let's hear it for Jan.
Good morning, sisters, brothers, siblings, friends. As Stuart said, it's so nice to be with our healthcare workers again this morning. I do have a question. Whenever we have a rally or a strike, do you order the rain? But you know what they say, right? When it rains on your parade, you dance in the rain. And that's what we did yesterday. That's what we're going to do today if we have to. That's what we're going to keep on doing, right? You know, I was here just a couple weeks ago with the nurses on strike, and I asked them a question. I want to ask you the same one. Do you remember when COVID was raging? And there was no vaccine? Who went to work every day? Exactly. Everybody wanted to say thank you to healthcare workers, right? For your courage, for your selflessness. Well, where is that appreciation and respect now? Well, I, for one, right now just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone here, because you deserve it. And I got to tell you, we know what the hospital's trying to do, right? Yes, they are trying to bust the union. They are trying to divide us. You could have been anywhere this morning. You could have been home with family. You could have been in the hospital. But you chose to be here. And it is so important, because we do have to send a message to the hospital. We will not be divided. You will not break the union, right? Send that message loud and clear to Donna Handley. Because we know their slogan, right? Union free in 23, over our asses. So listen, I got a call about a week ago. I was just telling somebody else from someone in the hospital, and she said, Jan, we got to get this over with. The hospital is divided. This isn't good for the patients. This isn't good for the workers. And I said, okay, what are you going to do? How are you going to compromise? And she said, I'm not going to compromise. I'm not giving one more dime. What is that? That is not respect. That is not investing in our healthcare workers. And let's be real, it's not like they can't afford it, right? I said this at the nurses' strike. They were able to afford an ad on the halftime at Super Bowl. Oh yeah, they were. And I gotta tell you, since the nurses' strike, I Googled it. Do you know how much that cost? The average was $7 million for an ad during Super Bowl. Yep. And they spent millions of dollars to slap their name on the side of a sports arena in Bridgeport. If they have enough money to spend on an ad and to slap on an arena, they have enough money to show respect for our healthcare workers, invest in the workers in this hospital. And folks, please know you are not alone. I want my brothers and sisters from other unions, raise your hands that are here for us today. There are community folks here for us today. There are legislators here for us today. You are not alone. And before I do anything else, I just have to thank Daniel, Clara, Anna, and John Brady, who have been with you the whole way. So, folks, I just have to ask you, do you deserve better? Yes, you do. Are we going to keep fighting until you get better? Yes. Are we in this together? Yes. One more time, are we in this together? Yes. Solidarity forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Look, the next speaker needs no introduction. If you're out here on the line today, you know exactly who she is. Heather Howlett. Heather Howlett has a tough day job, right? Like so many of you do. But then Heather Howlett, in her esteemed wisdom, agrees to lead this ragtag bunch of obvious rabble-rousers. When times are good, we forget about Heather. When times are bad, we say, Heather, what the hell are you doing? But when it's time to fight, we all look to Heather. We all look to Heather, and Heather leads every single day. Heather puts her face out there to be the face of this struggle. Walking up and down the halls, everybody in that building knows who she is. Sometimes it might feel like she's got a target on her back. When I asked her that, she said all of our workers feel like we have a target on our back. All of us deserve better. All of us are willing to fight to get better. You guys are lucky to have a leader like Heather. I'm lucky to have a boss like Heather. Come on up here, Heather.
Good morning, brothers and sisters, community members, everybody. I'm so glad to have such a good turnout here today. You know, we all know why we're out here. You know, it's not good. It's not good. I was up this morning a little early. Was dumb, you know, looked up on the internet a couple things. So today's the first time you're going to see me with a paper up here doing my speech, because I didn't want to do a misquote. So this morning I read that Donna Hanley was quoted as saying, "We are deeply disappointed that the AFT union is yet again threatening to walk out on Windham Hospital patients." She got that wrong. We walked out for our patients. Right? She was also quoted as saying that, you know, they've made significant health insurance premium contribution relief. Obviously, she hasn't been in negotiations, because we all know that's not true. Maybe they came down on what their original offers were, but that doesn't mean they're good. Why should we be paying more for the same exact policy as the non-union workers? And why, working for Hartford Healthcare, should we even be questioning how good or bad our insurance is? We should have the best damn insurance there is out there. But no, instead, we have members who are skipping their medications because they can't afford them. People are afraid to go to the doctors or the emergency department because they're afraid of what that bill's going to be. They're afraid to open their mail because we're getting brought to collections, not because we're not paying our bills to Hartford Healthcare, but because we're not paying what they want us to pay. And they're telling us it's not enough. Well, when you got to put food on the table and gas in the gas tank so we can come to work, we don't have the money to pay more. So you'd think they'd be happy they're getting what they're getting. You know, as we know, as everybody knows, the community, everybody sees on their commercials, on their buildings, if you walk in our atrium, They have their core values, Hartford Healthcare's core values. Who follows those? Not Hartford Healthcare leadership. We do.
Yep.
But they don't. They say that they're caring. They want to do the kind thing. Equity is their new one. That's our new one. They want to do the just thing. Excellence. They want to do the best thing. Integrity. They want to do the right thing. Safety. They want to do the safe thing. I don't know. Last time I looked, getting rid of our critical care unit, getting rid of our maternity, shipping our patients to other hospitals that are a minimum, on a perfect day, 30 minutes away. Does that follow any of those? No. And are we the ones who want, are the workers, the ones that are actually taking care of these patients? Are we the ones that want them leaving here? No, we want them here. We want to be able to take care of them. We want their family members to be able to come and see them. And that's another thing that they said was so big. They wanted family care. Well, when the family doesn't have a car, they can't get to the other facility, then what happened to that family care? And I'm not sure, but how are they getting home? Why is it that we have to have an ambulance they're paying 24 hours a day to sit in our parking lot? That's right. They sit in our parking lot. Why? Just in case we have an expectant mother that comes in, and hopefully it's just one, because we've only got the one ambulance here.
How about all the life flights? How much that costs the patients to get life flighted because we can't because we don't have enough?
Absolutely.
That's big money. Big money.
So I've been asked. I've worked here. December will be 32 years I have worked at this hospital. I've been asked before, if you're so unhappy with how Hartford Healthcare is dealing with things, why don't you leave? And you know why? Because I care.
Amen.
I'm not here working for Hartford Healthcare. I'm here working for the people. I'm here to take care of the families as well as the patients and us. And we shouldn't have to worry about taking care of us. And that's why we're out here fighting this. Wake up, Hartford Healthcare. You're not doing the right thing for your employees. You should be doing what's going to keep us in there, making it safe for everybody. So I was told yesterday that someone made the comment that I look like I was in my environment here yesterday. So initially I took it as, oh, so I look like I should be out here on strike. And then after being out here all day yesterday, and I went home, I started thinking about it again. And I thought, you know what? I am in my environment, because my environment is taking care of people and making sure that things happen, the way they should happen. So I'm not going to give up on you guys. I'm not going to give up on myself. And we're going to keep this fight up as long as it takes to make Hartford Healthcare be aware that they need to do something different. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
One more time for Heather. Part of being in a union means you never have to do it alone, but as we talked about earlier, sometimes union leadership can be a little lonely. The nice thing for Heather is that she's always got a right-hand man, or in this case, woman. And the thing about Crystal Badeau is this. Her M.O. is you better deal with Heather. Because you don't want to deal with me. Now, you all know Crystal. But for those of you who don't, you're going to have a bit of a treat here. Come on up, Crystal.
Good morning, everybody. So, it's been brought to my attention this is the first time our union has been on strike in 27 years. That's pretty crazy, right? You can thank Hartford Healthcare for that. They don't want to come to the table and negotiate fairly with us. So, I guess Donna Hanley was making some comments last night, and I want to address those comments because it's very important that everybody out there knows the actual truth and not what they're telling you. While Hartford Healthcare Vice President Donna Hanley claims that they've tried to prevent these strikes, the reality is that Windham Hospital's VP, Mike Davis actions provoked them by sending threatening emails to union members stating that if the union contract was voted down, that we would lose retro pay. And we did, in fact, vote that contract down. Why? We deserve a better contract. We deserve a fair contract. We bust our butts daily for this community. Our community loves us. They rely on us. Hartford Healthcare relies on us. We make them money. We take care of their patients. Our number one priority has and continues to be our patients. We've been attempting in good faith to resolve the region's care crisis for nearly a year. We have been in negotiations for almost 11 months. We have been working under an expired contract for almost 11 months. Are any of you okay with this? No. What do we want? Absolutely. We want it now. End of story. We have been chanting it out here for the last 24 hours, over 24 hours. We want a fair contract and we want it now. You think they might hear us now? Maybe. I think they might be listening to us right now because they like to spy on us constantly. I'm sure they are, and I hope they are, because I want them to hear what we have to say. According to the Connecticut State website, Windham Hospital has a net profit of $8.1 million in 2021. Profit. That's what they're putting in their pockets. This is supposed to be a non-profit organization. But they made $8.1 million last year, guys. Are we okay with this? No. And they want to give us what? Nothing. Nothing. Exactly. And let's talk about the fact they just took our COVID pay away. As of October 15th, if you get COVID, you have to use your PTO. I'm sorry. We work in healthcare. We are around COVID patients constantly. I personally have gotten COVID twice in the last year. Why? Because we run ourselves down. We work ourselves to the bone for our patients. AFT has tried to negotiate with Hartford Healthcare, although Hartford Healthcare refuses to offer a retro pay and negotiations go nowhere. This is not bargaining in good faith on their behalf, on HHC's behalf. Instead, the chain's executives and lawyers have broken the law and disrespected their healthcare professionals when they should be putting the patients first. Despite the claim by HHC that all units were up and running, only one has been up and running this whole entire time. Recently, our PCU opened about a week ago. And although Donna Hanley stating that Greer was open, it in fact is not open. It has been closed since before the nurses went on strike over a month ago. There are no beds on that unit. There are no patients on that unit. And this is not good patient care. They're cohorting patients while patients are waiting in the ED for hours to days. Days. Just recently, a patient was admitted from here to a SNF. They were in the emergency room for 4 days. Is that good patient care? No. No, not in the slightest bit. Why? Because we didn't have any beds for them up on our floor. And they're transferring them out to other hospitals. They're overloading other hospitals, and now those other hospitals are having to mandate their staff because they refuse to open a floor. Is this good patient care? No. Not in the bit. We're asking that Hartford Healthcare come to the table and negotiate a fair contract with us. We love our patients, we love this hospital, and we love our community.
I like the woo. When we were here a couple of weeks ago, we all got really familiar with another union president, another union leader. President of the nurses here, Andrea Riley, who I have on good authority is now public enemy number one for Hartford Healthcare. She's maybe 5 feet tall, of piss, vinegar, and righteous anger. I'm here for it, folks, and so are you. Come on, Andrea.
How's everybody doing today? I feel like this is deja vu, right? We're living in a dream? Not sure. We are 1 month later, and another group of union members in the Hartford Healthcare Corporation are fighting for economic stability, affordable health insurance, safe patient care, and respect for the bargaining process. Respect for the bargaining process. Don't ever forget that. Understand it, remember it, live it, and recite it if you have to. We're the third union to go on strike within the last 3 years under the same corporation and for the same reasons. Average it out, everybody. 3 divided by 3 averages 1 strike a year, right? That's not good for Hartford Healthcare. We're the third union to cry out and put our patients before our profits. I love to look at Hartford Healthcare statements. Heather brought up some beautiful mottos that they live by. I know we live by them. But one thing they said is that they touch 17,000 patients' lives every day. Well, here's the thing, Hartford Healthcare. You cannot boost those numbers without your employees. You can't be successful as the #1 provider in healthcare in the year 2023, right? Hashtag Donna Hanley 2023, okay? Without your employees, nor will you ever be without them. We are the key to their success. Locals 5041, 5099, we've told you what needs to be done today in this healthcare crisis to obtain as well as maintain your goals of doing the right thing, the safe thing, the kind thing. But most importantly, and I'm going to add something else because this is what we stand by as unions, the moral and just thing. So put that up there. Put it up there on your mottos. Moral, values, integrity. This is what you all have. And we have it every day. This is a no-brainer. There is no time to waste, Hartford, because every day, 17,000 people depend on this. So to my fellow laborers, and I love you all, your labor is the key to their success, and that can never be disputed. I have said this many times. You've seen me write it on our Facebook. Know your worth. It is time for us to hop out of the passenger side, get the hell in the driver's seat, and drive this bus of healthcare back towards quality patient care. And I will go on every single ride with you. I will be right there with you. Never back down. Keep fighting. And every action has value. No matter what it gets you, you keep doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Our next speaker is the president of the Connecticut AFL-CIO. See, the thing about labor unions is you're all made up of members, and then on the state level, we're like, well, what if all the unions had a larger umbrella? What if we had a family of unions, just like a union is a family of workers? Well, Ed over here is the president of that family of unions. So he's going to tell you exactly how many thousands of brothers and sisters and other siblings that you have standing with you on this line today, whether they're here or not. They're certainly here in spirit. Come on up, Ed.
First of all, I just want to say thank you all. You all are walking this line for every person that puts on scrubs, goes into work, and does a job that is not appreciated. And you are fighting for everyone. And I was here yesterday in the rain. I was with the nurses in the rain, and somehow the rain always seems to find us here. But it never, not for 1 second, dampens your spirit. And I want to thank you all for inspiring me and inspiring the labor movement to fight for what we truly deserve. So during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, when the hospital asked for your help to step up in this community's time of need, you said yes. When they asked you to take on an extra shift, you said yes. When they asked you to wear PPE, or when they had it, that would have otherwise been discarded a few months before, you didn't ask questions. You did what needed to get done to get the job done, to lift up this community, to make sure your patients felt confident that they were getting the care that they needed and that they deserved. When the hospital asked you to come in tired, scared, and overwhelmed, you didn't hesitate. You said yes. You did what needed to be done. The hospital administration called you heroes for your sacrifice. They said thank you. But we all know thank you is not enough. Somehow the hospital forgot about this sacrifice at the bargaining table. We're walking this picket line here today to remind them that healthcare heroes will not settle for less than they deserve. Your true worth will be memorialized in a contract because this fight will not end until that happens. Every one of you makes this hospital run. Every one of you makes this community a better place to live. And the 200,000 members of the Connecticut AFL-CIO are here with you in this fight every step of the way. Because your fight is our fight. Your sacrifice is our sacrifice. On this line here today, we have our brothers and sisters from AFSCME, from CWA, UFCW, IAFF, CUI, and USW. We are with you to the end, and together we are strong, and together we will win. Thank you all once again, and we are here for you.
Thanks, Ed. You know, it's been said before, Windham is a union town. And part of what helps having a union town is when you have a mayor leading the community with a mind towards strong worker values and good patient outcomes. Your mayor, Tom DeVivo, here in Windham, has been consistently supportive of your fight, of this struggle, and of each and every single one of you individually. Come on up, Mayor.
Thank you very much. I hope this works out for the best of all of you. I want to thank all of you for keeping me alive. I recognize some of these speakers because I come bleeding to the emergency room on a regular basis. They always help you out. You always help us out. I heard earlier a speaker say that when things are good, we don't think about this person, but when in our community, my neighbors don't think about the hospital when things are good. But when they're bad, they come right here, and each and every one of you stands up for them. You protect them, you help, you keep them safe, you keep them healthy. Whether they can pay for it or whether they can't, you're always there for our neighbors and residents. I want to thank all of you and wish you the best of luck in your efforts today. I hope Hartford Healthcare can stand up and do the right thing and get you what you need. 11 months is way too long to wait for a contract. So thank you, and keep up the good work. Who's next? So who's next? Susan? This guy really has it down pat.
Hey, I like anybody that compliments me. If Tom's getting it done on the town level with your city councilors, we got a whole crop of folks looking out for your interests at the state legislature in Hartford. And so I'd like to call up a little cohort, if you will, the Team Windham, if we could get them to come up here. We've got Susan and May, Kathy and Greg. Come on over. May, are you going first? We're going to kick it off with May came to the last rally. When we got done, I said, May, we got to figure out a way. We got to figure out a way to stick it to Hartford Healthcare. And she's like, Stuart, we are working on it. I have a secret plan that I'm going to unveil when 5099 goes on strike, but we'll wait till that exact moment. So I don't know. Maybe she's going to share with you now, or maybe we got to keep it a little bit more secret. I don't know. May, kick it off.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I cannot say how frustrated I am that we are here yet again, and yet we all knew we would be. We have seen time and time again how Hartford Healthcare continues to put their profits for this supposedly nonprofit organization before people, before the people of this community, and for the workers who deliver the tremendous health care that people get at Windham Hospital. Hartford Healthcare needs to be held accountable, and that is exactly what you're doing. When we were here just a few weeks ago, standing with your fellow healthcare workers for the same issue, we said that part of the reason that you are having such difficulty, nearly a year without a contract, is because those of you that are actually working with our neighbors who are patients at this hospital are telling the truth about what is happening here. We have watched this corporation decimate the delivery of health care in our community, and you have stood up for the people of this community and not for Hartford Healthcare. You have stood up and said the elimination of the ICU was wrong. The elimination of labor and delivery in this community was wrong. Here in Northeastern Connecticut, we are facing unprecedented challenges when it comes to delivery of health care. And Hartford Healthcare is at the center of making it nearly impossible for those of us to live here to get quality health care. And if it weren't for you, it would be gone. I am so grateful for all of you for what you do each and every day, standing up for your patients, and all you're asking for is the respect that your paycheck and your benefits should deliver. The fact that when I talk to some of you, you tell me how you can't go here as a patient because the health care coverage they give you doesn't allow you to be able to afford it. That is outrageous that a healthcare worker can't afford health care. Shame on Hartford Healthcare. Shame on them. And good for you for standing up and saying that you and all of the healthcare workers at this hospital deserve better. You keep fighting. We will stand with you every step of the way, and we will win this battle against this disgusting healthcare corporation that continues to put its own profits before the people. Thank you.
All right, May. I am so glad to be working with Senator Flexer, also Senator Austin, Representative Haddad. We have a great crew here, and I am very thrilled because we are working together because you are doing such a great job of standing up for this community. I am really thrilled with all of you being here today because it really speaks to some of the awful things that Hartford Healthcare is on. I get nauseated when I see Hartford Healthcare advertising about how great they are all over the state of Connecticut. Meanwhile, they're not treating you like they should be treating you. They're not giving you the wages you deserve. They're not giving you the health care that you deserve, the access to health care yourselves. How ridiculous is that for you to have health care insurance that you can't even use? Is that ridiculous? Yeah, and you know what? They wouldn't be able to do it with if they didn't have all that money because they have to put the money aside for the self-insurance. And that's how they get to do this, with lots and lots of money. And then they can say, oh, well, we're unregulated, so we can make you pay whatever deductible and co-insurance payments we decide, because we're unregulated, because we have the money to set the money aside. And that is what they're doing. That is what they're doing. That is how it works. And so I will be working to try and stop that sort of thing at the Capitol, even though there's federal laws that let them do it. There are other states that have different types of systems, and maybe we'll be able to work on that. So there's a lot of different things that I'll be working on at the Capitol. We're doing lots of research, and we will be working and standing with you all the way. So keep up the good fight. We will be there with you. We will be analyzing the situation right down to the wire, and we will be there with you every single time you come out. And call us if you have ideas. We're glad to do that too. So keep in touch, and thank you again for taking care of us.
So thank you very much, Susan, and thank you, May. It's an honor to be here today. But I'm going to talk a little bit about. Let's just put aside for the moment the profits that Hartford Healthcare has. Let's talk about salaries. Let's talk about what you make every single hour of every single day. Your salaries, all of you combined, all the people here today, add up to the salary of one person in Hartford Healthcare. One person. So when you think about that, they make for their family what it takes all of you combined to make, and they think that that's okay. It's just flat out not. It's just flat out not okay that the person at the top can fit in every worker that's on strike here today into his salary, and he still has money left over at the end of the day. How right is that? It's just flat out wrong that a CEO and a CFO can make combined what all of you make, and then think that they don't have to pay you a fair wage to do the work that supports their outrageous salaries. Their outrageous salaries. That's what goes on here at Hartford Healthcare. That's what goes on here in healthcare all across this country. We need to change this so that the people that are actually doing the day-to-day work, because I can guarantee you that the people at the top are not bathing people, they're not changing bedpans, they're not washing sheets. They don't want to do that work because that's beneath them. But it's not beneath you. What you do every single day is the work that's necessary to take care of people. That's what that is all about. On top of that, they make a profit. On top of that, they make a profit. So let's call out the excessive salaries at the top of Hartford Healthcare and say, you give up 10% of your wages to afford me a living wage. And then maybe we'll talk about fairness. Maybe. Because that might get us somewhere closer to fair wages. So when you're sitting at the negotiating table and they say, no retro pay for you, ask them what they got for a salary for the year. That's all your retro pay, plus.
And their bonuses itself probably.
So I want to thank you very much for standing up to power, because that's what this is about. It's standing up to power. That's what you're all doing here today. You're standing up to power. And without you standing up to that power, where would we be? You would be making, and are pretty close, I'm sorry to say, poverty wages. And you would be fighting to heat your homes, and you would be fighting to feed your children, and you would be fighting to make sure that you have a home to live in. They don't fight for any of those normal expenses. They have 3 and 4 and 5 homes. They're all heating their homes at 75 degrees. You're all doing what I do. Keep my house at 50. Tell everybody that comes in they better have an extra sweater. Let's talk about fairness. You are asking for simple fairness and a lifestyle that is just flat out middle class. Keep fighting. We are here standing by you, and we will continue to stand by you. Thank you.
My name's Greg Haddad. I'm a state representative from Mansfield, and I was born in this hospital. This is an important part of our community here in Willimantic and Windham, surrounding towns in Mansfield. And it's important because of the work that you do. And so first I want to just say thank you. And I'm here to stand with you in this struggle. But I'm not proud to be here. I'm angry to be here. I'm frustrated that I have to be here, right? Just like you are. It seems to me, I woke up this morning and I said, oh, look, it's rainy day in eastern Connecticut. There must be a strike line at Windham Hospital. Let's get down there. It's too often that we're here, right? And we're here because the administration, the administrators here at this hospital don't just make a lot of money. They're peddling lies about what this struggle is about. And when I open up my local newspaper, as you do, and I see Donna Handley saying that they're just asking for too much, that they can't afford to do that. Donna Handley, who makes $700,000 a year. When I see that she's doing that at the behest of Jeff Flax, who's making $2.5 million a year, they're putting this story out, and you know what they're doing? They're calling you the greedy ones. Well, we're not buying that story, right? It's not greedy to ask for dignity, and it's not greedy to ask for respect. It's not greedy to make sure that you have food on the table and oil to put in to heat your home. So we'll be here for as long as we have to be to stand by you as you fight for the things that you deserve. I'd like to, this is Senator George Cabrera. He came a very long way to be here with us today. We're so grateful that we've got good colleagues in the House and the Senate who will also stand with you. George.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You guys are great. Good evening. Good morning. Good morning. It does seem to always rain, doesn't it? That's okay. You're probably asking yourself, what's a state senator all the way from Hamden doing all the way up here? Well, the reason why is because my day job, I work for the United Food and Commercial Workers Local 919. And my colleagues are here. Our president is back there, Mark Espinoza, out in Solidarity. And we got an email from Ed Halford. So we got problems up here in Windham. And we said, we'll be there. Because you were all there for us. When we walked out on Stop and Shop for better wages and benefits, you were there for us. And Ed alluded earlier about this being a family, and it is. And when our family's in trouble, we come. Because we're together on all of this, regardless of what we do. And I just wanted to come up here and encourage you. I want you to look around and see all the different unions, all the different locals that are with you. And my colleagues will tell you, those days on the strike at Stop and Shop were tough. We didn't get much sleep. Our cars looked like a bomb went off. We were eating out of our cars. It was tough. And I know what you're doing is tough too. But I promise you this, because I've seen this. When you stick together, no matter how tired you are, no matter how fed up you are, keep pushing, keep walking, keep speaking up. And I promise you, at the end of the day, you're going to win this. And your family's going to be better for it. You're going to be better for it. Whether they know it or not, they don't realize it now. This hospital will be better for it as well. So we're with you. Keep fighting. Never give up. Never, ever, ever give up. God bless you.
Thanks, Senator. All right, brothers and sisters, I want to make one thing abundantly clear to everyone here. We heard earlier exactly how much money in profit Windham Hospital made last year. Crystal? Where's Crystal at? How much was it? How much money in profit last year, Windham Hospital?
$8.1 million.
That's $8.1 million profit, according to my sister Crystal over here. And 1,000% sure it's accurate. Here's the thing. Windham Hospital is supposed to be non-profit. Why does that matter? It matters because Windham Hospital isn't paying property taxes to this community. So you who live here in this community, who have to vote on that budget charter referendum all the time so that we can adequately fund our schools, so that we can actually educate our kids, you have to do that. You have to shell out the extra dollars in taxes every year. Why? Because you're good members of the community. I shouldn't be taking a position on the charter, but here we go. You wouldn't have to do it if they would pay their fair share. They don't pay their fair share to educating your kids, and they don't pay their fair share to providing you with a living wage. And how do we know that? Because they make all that profit, and they simply refuse to give more. We've outlined for them in charts. We've outlined for them in graphs. We've outlined for them with simple numbers that any 6-year-old educated in the fine education system of Windham could understand, that they have the money to pay you a decent wage. They just don't want to. And the people who are telling you that they don't want to pay you more all make more money than each and every single one of you. Does that make you angry? They can, but won't. So now I am very pleased to tell you that we're going to do what happens in the middle of every single strike in every single area of the country. we're going to take a little dance break. We're going to take a little dance break because we have two more speakers that really want to talk with you today. They're U.S. Senator Dick Blumenthal and Congressman Joe Courtney. But they're on their way from Hartford and not here yet.
But it's only a half an hour.
But it's only a half an hour as long as there's no traffic.
And no rain.
So brothers and sisters, we're going to get the music going real quick. We're going to call you back together in 10, 15 minutes when the other dignitaries get here. Thank you so much. Solidarity forever!